Hi everyone, I'm Andy and this is my Pilates story. So Pilates really transformed my body completely, even though I started practicing frequently for even less than 2 years. But then that's totally a very different feeling, a total different body I'm having and carrying right now. So I have been a student for a very long time, since I would say since middle school till all the way till grad school. Prolonged sitting several hours a day has been a very common situation throughout the whole 15 years, and I believe that applies to many of you. And then with that intense amount of sitting, I did notice tension in my neck shoulder region, but then that didn't really causing any symptom or any issue with me. I just feel like it's a normal situation everybody is having. But then I started having some shoulder pain, probably starting a few years ago, without any specific injury or with any specific motion that's causing the shoulder pain. And me being a PT myself, was trying to figure things out to solve the problem. And I even saw some friends to help me figure out what's going on, but then nothing was really working. I tried some stretches that was able to relieve the symptoms a little bit and then improve the mobility a little bit, but then still along the way moving forward was still feeling some nagging shoulder pain coming and going, but then I didn't really know what's actually causing that. Then until about 2 years ago, I started doing Pilates, and then that's like within one session, a total different feeling. I feel like I was growing taller even though I was already in my late 20s, getting 2 more inches in height in late 20s. Nobody ever heard of that. Now I feel like I was growing taller. I feel like the world looked different. I feel like I can look further away for some reason. I didn't really notice that. I just feel like I'm taller for some reason. And then my patients during that time said, why don't you measure yourself? Which I did, and that indeed that was 2 inches different in height per measure. Then also a few months ago when I went back home for Chinese New Year, everybody in my family did say that I look different. I definitely look taller, which is totally validated by them. And then so with these body transformation, that's really like fascinating. Also notice that I'm not carrying a lot of tension in my neck, shoulder anymore. I was in the prolonged sitting situation for too long, for several years, so that already became a habit, already internalized, without me even noticing that, which I know applies to many of you guys. But then after practicing Pilates, starting that point, I don't really have a lot of tension anymore. And then also my shoulders are not really bothering me anymore. Occasionally, I might start to feel some soreness happening if I was sitting for a little bit longer period of time, making videos or something. But I do know like what exercises I could go into, like in Pilates, that I can help myself to relieve those symptoms. And then so that's never an issue to me anymore. So that's like me doing Pilates, helping myself getting a better body, which really prompted me to eventually become a Pilates instructor, because I feel like this method is fascinating and I want everybody else to experience this, because I know that nowadays everybody is having very similar situations. If you are a student, probably sitting for a very long period of time. I like to work with musicians, and a lot of musicians playing gigs, practicing, they need to sit for several hours a day as well, which could easily cause very similar symptoms and problem. If you ride a bike to commute, easily sitting in the bike seat, and also you also need to reach forward to the handlebars. In that position, very easy to have shoulder neck issue and a lot of tension with that. So, and then I was in New York in my previous job. So for New Yorkers, if you need to commute to work or back home from Queens to Brooklyn, for example, that's easily 1 hour subway ride, prolonged sitting, if you are fortunate enough to have a seat. If you are in standing but reading newspaper or watching anything on your phone, you would easily move yourself into a very slouched position for 1 hour, one way. So these different scenarios just gave you examples that nowadays we are very easily to move into the slouch position, and then that would cause a lot of neck and shoulder issues. So I know that that's definitely a big problem that I was able to solve, and that prompted me to become a Pilates instructor myself. I could barely do 100, or I should say I couldn't do 100, complete 100 at all when I started the teacher training. But then throughout the whole training, I was able to build on my endurance and my strength much better. Like the other videos you are seeing me doing, the hanging pull-ups, the snake and twist, things like that, those were totally impossible when I was starting my teacher training. But then Joseph Pilates said that there's always a method behind the madness, and that's definitely true. There is a system, and then as long as you put into the work, take baby step each time and then make a little progress, eventually you will get there and then achieve amazing things. So that's totally true. After the 6 months of Pilates teacher training, definitely got a lot of new tools in my belt. I feel like I was able to treat my patients better because I was able to see their bodies from a more holistic point of view, to see how their entire body structure is looking like, instead of what we learn in PT school is trying to be very specific to pinpoint a problem. I learned how to look at the whole body at the same time to address the problem as the entire body. So that's definitely very different. It was because of the community, it was because of the accountability I got that helped me to push through the entire teacher training process, the whole 6 months of training, several hours of practicing. That was totally because of the instructors, the cohort I was having to practice together, and then which helped me to commit to putting to more work. And then so that's the reason why I am who I am today. And then the reason why I wanted to become a Pilates instructor now, and I want to serve more people, is that I know that if I can do it, and if I can have a total body transformation, I know that every one of you can achieve that as well. And then so definitely want to serve you, and then I want to provide the accountability, like the support, and then give you the encouragement so that you know that it's okay and it's possible for you to start your healing journey, to get better, to feel comfortable, or to be stronger. So this is the message I'm going to share with you today, my Pilates journey, and I encourage you to take action and start your journey as well. Have a great day.